all the element called format ID. Here, 15.
The other thing about free music that bummed me out for a long time, until I realized that this wasn't part of it, is that dissonance is just one of the colors on the canvas. So, and there's still people I play with who tend to go in a dissonant direction with it. That and it doesn't have to. It can be freely improvised in the.
Absolutely. I mean, I think one of my missions as an improviser and someone who's sort of trying to teach it to people and sort of convey ideas about it is that the idea that free improvisation has to be dissonant or avant-garde sounding or painful is just as limiting as the idea that of playing Lawrence Welk. I see those two sets of ideas as the idea that free improvisation has to be in this really strict set of non-groove related, non-harmonic, non-melodic sets of sounds is just as limiting a set of boundaries as playing a polka.
So if somebody's playing something lyrical and then you come in a tritone away in a different key and in a different rhythmic grid, that's nice that you feel that way, but it's not helping me in any way unless the objective is in this game we're playing, let's be contrary or something.
Right. Well, that's the key there. So what's the game? What's the game?
But if we're just trying to play together, like that, if somebody went in a very dissonant direction after my melodic thing, my first thought would be, okay, well, you have an agenda here. You're trying to make this dissonant, and I don't. It would sort of jeopardize the relationship for the rest of the evening. I wonder where this was going to.
Well, it is. I mean, it's a hostile act.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, but the key there is trust. If it's someone that you trust, and that that's not a hostile act, then you could accept. Okay, well, this is the game for this piece. For this improvisation, I'm going to play this lyrical, melodical, beautiful stuff, and he's going to reply by sabotaging it.
So that's
a fun game. That's a fun improvisation to play.
So even if the other person that's their preferred mode, if every scene then goes that way,
well, then I'd say they suck. Well, I'm harsh that way, and I think it. I like variety. I like people to be able to respond and play different kinds of things. A night of improvised music that all sounds the same, to me, is pretty boring. So my preferred thing is it's just like with any, if you set out to create a night of music, you're not going to play all fast bebop tunes. You're not going to play all waltzes. Yeah. You're going to mix it up so that the audience gets a chance to hear a beautiful ballad and hear you're going to mix it up so that it has a nice flow, and there's different kinds of music that attract the ear in different kinds of ways. I feel the same way about a night of improvised music. It should be pieces that feel different. Each piece should have its own character. And that's what makes it a real improvised composition and not just like, wanking off for the night.
Yeah, no, I agree totally. And actually, and you went, your conclusion that they suck happened, you gave them a little bit more of a chance than I did. Like I started off like you suck, and then but you gave them a whole tune to make up your mind about it.
Well, no, I wouldn't even say they suck. I mean, because when I'm on the bandstand with somebody, I love them. I have to love them because I can't play with them unless I love them. You know what I mean? I can't play with them unless I'm open to them. I mean, that's an extreme.
No,
loving
totally
it is an extreme way to say it, but I have to be open to them. So I sort of have to think the best of them during that context. Afterwards I can look back at it and say, well, he just played the same thing all night. It's not somebody that I really want to play with again. But during that experience, I have to be as open to what their thing is as I can be and sort of make the best music with it that I can make.
Thank you.